Hi, everybody. Carl the Proud of A to Z Business IT. Today, I want to talk about AI and cyber alignment in M&As, turning risk into a strategic advantage. It's really about how firms are using it to cure AI to drive better deals. And so, what you're starting to see is AI is being thrown into everything. It's the new catchphrase. And we're getting a lot of firms that are coming in with rapid adoption. Teams are integrating AI, and I hate to say a lot of them aren't doing it with proper planning. As a matter of fact, a lot of businesses in general are just throwing AI almost against the wall. And without a good plan, it's creating some problems. It creates a strategy vacuum where you have no unified approach. And so that creates a lot of exposure, and security gaps, which is really where my concern is on this, because what you're seeing is that it's without having a clear game plan or a security framework, instead of really streamlining deals and speeding them up, it's actually causing new risks. Sensitive data ends up in the wrong hands because they're using either the wrong tools or they're not being properly configured or aligned. Workflows break down, and the teams are not on the same page, and that can really cause disaster for M&A deals. That's because at the end of the day, let's forget the technology. Trust is the real currency, and if things start slipping, people lose confidence. And when that happens, deals stall or fall apart. So, the other part of it's real broke. It's a double-edged sword. Without using AI without security, you get exposed data without proper governance. You get a shadow IT proliferation. What do I mean by that? That sounds like it's a $50 word. I apologize. But what that means is you get your summer interns coming into the firms. They've all learned how to use ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, or all three, plus all, Meta and Gemini, all the other tools that are out there to speed up their work in school. So they're taking those same tools to do that. Problem is, if that's not secured correctly, you got a couple of issues right there. One, the first issue is those AIs are training on your company data. Two, when they leave, whether it's good terms or bad, they could be taking your data with them indirectly. So this obviously is going to create compliance violations and, more importantly, reputational problems as well, or damage. Now, the other side of this is, look, there's the risk. Let's just put our head in the sand. The businesses have said this before when new technologies happen, like the internet, gas-powered engines, and so forth. We're better off with the horses. I really trust my buggy. But the problem is that, avoiding AI altogether, you get slow due diligence because as other firms start to use these tools, they're going to seem slow by their standards. So you're going to have this insights just because the AI can do certain tasks, repetitive tasks, better and more efficiently with less errors. You have less fatigue, and if you're not using it, it really will be a very strong competitive disadvantage. So, what are the smart M&A firms doing? Well, they're building a framework around their AI so to make sure that it's built in with security. They have policies, procedures, everything in there. They're centralizing compliance with real-time monitoring across all departments, and that everyone's using the same platforms, the same tools. So that there's trust and transparency, which gives you greater outputs and cleaner deals, which create the confidence that you need. So, what does it look like when the AI and cybersecurity are married together? Well, tasks take hours, not weeks. All of a sudden, doing your deal sourcing, your due diligence, all those things can be speeded up. You can have seamless handoffs. More importantly, you get stakeholder confidence. You get trust throughout the process. You get operational excellence, reputation as a tech-forward leader. This is what we all want, and this is where you can be with us. So, what we do at A to Z Business IT when we're working with our clients is we create an AI readiness and execution frame. It starts with an AI roadmap. We start with our clients. We really start to do. We don't bombard you with technology. We start with what are your strengths? What makes your company great? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities that you have in your business? And what are the threats? And then what we start looking at with AI is how to leverage those opportunities to the greater good. And we start to look at how to reduce those threats. We meet with the executive teams to make sure that we're in alignment. We determine what the proper KPIs are, make sure that you have a good ROI so that your AI isn't just a one-time one-off or a neat parlor trick. It's really built in. We have a strategic firm. So instead of reacting to the technology, you're embracing it and you're putting it throughout the business. And so what we do then is we also put departmental integrations where we meet with the teams once a month. We have quarterly strategy reinforcement to make sure everybody's aligned and on the same page, and we're getting the same results on a consistent manner. So why does it matter? Well, when you do that, you prevent the hidden risks. You stop problems before there's an issue. You strengthen trust. And big things that really happen is you start to have a very big competitive edge, and it really gives you a deal reputation. I mean, we're starting to see in the AI space, and we don't have official numbers, but indirectly we've gotten numbers back, which says, the companies that are using AI in a strategic manner are getting 10 to 15% better valuations on their outputs on the deals than when they don't have it. So it's not unrealistic to see that with AI put in with cyber with the right security frameworks, the governance, everything together, where you can be looking at double, tripling the results within a very short period of time, maybe even greater. So what we do is we invite you to see where would you find the gaps. You want to make sure, first of all, that you're doing a readiness assessment to find, low-hanging fruits that give you the highest impact. That's what you go into. You identify and pinpoint the misalignments and risks. You create the action plan, and then you then proceed to make sure that you're getting what you're signed up for at the end of the day. So if this seems interesting to you, let's take the first steps together. Get ahead of the curve before the next deal hits. Go ahead and schedule with us. We'll give you a half an hour assessment here for free. It's at booking.a2zbusinessit.com. There's a link below. Understand, where your AI and your cyber posture really stands. Benchmark against the best in class for M&A execution, and leave with a clear, tailored roadmap. No fluff, no obligation. Just putting you in a better place than you were before. So I wanted to thank you for your time. You guys have a great rest of the day. Take care.